to week 3 of the 41st season of the FM4 Spec Racing Series. I'm SFN all by myself here this evening, and today we're going to be starting with Catalunya and finishing at a very wet Nürburgring. Already seen a couple of updates in the FM4 Discord, such as the absence of Barney and Floofy, so that will certainly allow some other drivers to possibly have a chance at the podium today. Currently have 10 drivers in the field at this time, and we're going to jump straight into things by taking a look at the practice of things from inside the lobby. And of course, we'll go over some other preview elements as well of tonight's event, such as the point standings through round 2, and what tracks remain on the schedule as we get through to the back half of the season. So, obviously, the Brat that I'm in right now is extremely illegal on account of being R-Class, but that doesn't really matter at this point. We're going to do a little bit of a slow track review here. So turn 1, very on the edge of grip in the correct spec. Going to want to come out to the far left side and then jump over to the right side here, hard on the brakes, and then you're going to want to turn in easily to that inside curb. Easier said than done in a jelly car. Stomp the gas coming out, just clip this curb, and then take a wide entry for the next right-hander, which again I can't do in this jelly car. Make sure you avoid those tire walls and keep it nice and tidy through here. Next we're going to go into the S's, which is part of the first sector on the full circuit. A nice hard right and then a hard left with some bumps here to punish you if you try to cut the track. And then a very long sweeping right-hander to finish off a very short lap here at Catalunya School, about 55 seconds. Seems to be what the drivers are capable of. I expect we may see a couple of guys dip into the 54s, considering that Slipstream has a 55 dead at this time. It's pretty likely we'll see a 54 qualifying. And some of our heavy hitters absent at this time, like Foofy's not here yet. Audrex is currently not. Oh, there he is. Just gets on board now. I don't see DTS Mondo. So this could be a very wide open night for getting on the podium and getting some good finishes for some of our competitors who may not necessarily have that ability here. Nice to see some new names cycling through. There's Kraytrum and Audrex just coming out of their way here. We're about 5 or so minutes away from the setup of qualifying, which is going to be 3 laps. Out lap, hot lap, hot lap, with the goal being to set the fastest clean lap possible, because dirty laps will put you at the bottom, even if faster. So now that we've pulled over next to Tavares, let's take a look here at what other information we have, such as the point standings, which was provided to me by Kuda93 shortly before tonight's event. At the top, remember there is a drop round, and since Floopy won every race in round 1 and didn't participate in round 2, his score of 100 remains at the top. Second place, DTS Mondo with 94 points. Kraytrum 1 point behind, improved a little bit last week. LS Barney in 4th with 88. Then a tie for 5th between Tavares and Bornas Ghost 91. Audrex with 79. Fear the Fun, Larry B the G, and Slow Motion Fire round out the left side of the graphic for the top 10. Mattman and Kuda 64 apiece, tie for 11th with SM Sleepy in 60 points, a little bit behind. Ella Mojave and OK Fox Jason D each with 52. Patches Riley with 50. Spurzows 46, Modern Weapon, T-Phrase, and then at the rear, Commander Slipstream, who does not yet have a point because he has not yet started a race. And that will, of course, change tonight because he's here. And let's take a look at the schedule here. We're going to have 32 laps of Catalunya School with full tires, fuel and tires only, because there's no functional pit lane on this particular version of the track. And then we'll have a short intermission, and we'll qualify again at the Nürburgring, and then have a rain race in changing conditions for 11 laps on the GP circuit. So effectively, we're at the halfway point here because there's only 5 weeks and 9 rounds total, meaning that once we get about halfway through race 5, we'll be halfway through the season. Next week, we're going to have Prague Short Reverse, 24 laps, and Brands Hatch Indy, 31 laps, so 2 pretty short lap times there. And then to round things off, we have that endurance race at Coda West, but that's not for 2 weeks. So I think lobby is now being set up for qualifying at Catalunya School, 32 laps, remember, so this race should be about 29-30 minutes, depending on how fast the drivers are further back in the pack, and it's going to be a good one. Yeah, it's a little bummed not to have a co-commentator here with me tonight. I know they all very much wanted to be here, but life happens, and you got to do what you got to do. So hopefully we'll be able to talk to some more of the drivers as we go through tonight's festivities here, and still bring you guys an enjoyable event. And I did make some changes to the PC here, so hopefully we don't get disconnected or suffer a catastrophic loss of executable file functionality here, so we can bring both races this evening. And let's take a look at some of the liveries of the drivers that are present so far, beginning with myself in the very much illegal Subaru Brat. We have Commander Slipstream in the, looks like a witch on the side. I'm not sure what that's supposed to signify there. Tavarius number 22. We've seen plenty of him in the last couple of weeks. Fear the Fun in the beautiful orange and blue machine. Patches Riley. Cratrium. Drex in the Chonker Puma. Matman, we've seen a lot of him, but we can't see the truck just yet. Modern Weapon, hopefully he'll be able to have a trouble-free event. I know he's been fighting wheel issues as we've been trying to get through the rounds here. Slow Motion Fire, number 17 in the TA car. Very nice, clean livery there. And then after him we have Kuda in Sprunk. Kuda actually is a professional graphics artist, but just decided to run Sprunk in Forza because it's funny. Sprzauz in the Oceanic Airlines, number 78. OK Fox Jason D in Soylent Green. Then we have Is Uniki Bobby. I'm not familiar with that driver, but welcome aboard. And DTS Mondo has appeared in Speedy Gonzalez, so we'll expect to see him on probably the front row. And we're just about 2 minutes away here, and it looks like we are going to get to speak with Tavarius. So hello, Tavarius. Can you hear me? This is Darkster in the booth. Darkster Tavarius, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
All right, so you are the first interview of the night here. Tell us your thoughts leading into qualifying for the only track on the schedule without a pit lane, Catalunya School.
It's fun, it's quick, and I'm excited to get it out of the way so I can race Nürburgring.
Okay, so you're looking forward to Nürburgring. Would you consider yourself to be a wet weather specialist, or do you just enjoy the rain?
Well, wet weather specialist. I just put a little bit of time into the tune for the track this week, so I'm just curious how it does.
Okay, well, just a little hint here. Typically, you want to reduce some of the understeer for the rain on the front, just because you won't have as much grip, but not to the point where you'll lose ground coming out of the corners. So it's a bit of a balancing act, and I sincerely hope you've got it right in the middle.
I might have done it completely backwards now that you mention it.
Well, whatever works. It can vary based on car, so if you want to slide the car around, maybe take some front back in, and who knows.
Yeah. I think we're going to be good in the setup. So I'm excited to run with these guys. It's been a really fun competition so far, and yeah, I'm having a good time.
And just taking a look at the points here, you're currently in the 5th position with 1 drop factored in. Looks like you got Floofy, Mondo, Cratrium, and Barney ahead of you, and then you're tied with Born as Ghosts. Do you see yourself maybe having the potential to gain a couple of spots this week, especially with the absence of Floofy and Barney?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, we're just running practice laps here, and I was pretty happy with what the times I was putting in. So my goal is always to move forward and always to move up. So yeah, that's what we're trying to do here for sure.
All right. Well, any parting thoughts, Tavares, before we sneak in a quick question here with Sleepy?
Thanks for your time. Thanks for interviewing me, and tell everyone else to have fun.
All right, will do, man. Well, once again, best of luck to you as we get through the festivities tonight, and let's take a look and talk to Sleepy.
All right, thank you.
Hey, Sleepy, this is Darkster in the SFM official booth. You got me? Darkster to Sleepy, do you copy? Do you have push to talk enabled? Alright, looks like we cannot actually hear Sleepy, so we'll give him a moment to try to fix whatever issue may be happening there. Let's see if I can tell him directly. Hey, there we go. Can you hear me now?
Oh, hold on.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Alright, so Sleepy, how you doing, man? It's been a while.
Yeah, I know. How you doing? Been doing pretty good.
Just, present and accounted for here. So, looks like we've only got about a minute or so before we get ready to start. Are you excited for racing on a track without a pit lane? I asked Tavarius the same question.
Am I excited for what now?
This track actually does not have a pit lane, which is why you guys are running fuel and tires today, because it's so short and there's no pit lane on Catalunya School. Do
Oh,
you have
I
any
didn't
thoughts on that?
realize that. Well, I mean, it's definitely fair, I would think.
All right, definitely fair. I'll take that as a fair answer there. And we saw you've been having some good battles a little bit farther down the field, but still wheel to wheel with a lot of different drivers. Have you been enjoying the Subaru Brat thus far?
I have. I'm actually disappointed that you lagged out on Lime Rock because that was actually a pretty fun race. I started back to back and I worked my way up to eighth, which was a personal best for me, which is kind of ironic considering on it, with any other car, Lime Rock is like one of my worst tracks.
Yeah, it's definitely a tricky track, and you did mention that was your best finish. Right now, you're sitting in 13th overall in the points. How do you think tonight will impact your standing in the standings, pun not intended?
Uh, I'm expecting to drop a few places. I mean, I'm not really. I mean, obviously, I'm not the fastest. These guys are way faster than me. Honestly, I'm probably the slowest one on my team. But this car kind of evens it out a little bit more. But still, pace does make a difference, and I'm honestly not expecting to do too well from here on out. But we'll see what we get. I might get lucky.
Now, as long as you're having fun, right? That's what this is all about.
Yeah, it definitely is a difficult car to drive. It's such a dog. It's definitely different. You can't. You really have to kind of finesse this car in a way. It's very difficult to drive. It's like I said, it's a dog. It feels like a brick on wheels. But overall, I'm having a blast. It's very interesting.
All right, well, thanks for those parting thoughts, Sleepy, and I think we're actually ready, just waiting for you to ready up. So let's wish you good luck and get ready for qualifying.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, and now I am all by myself, but I'm not Celine Dion. So let's get ready to get rolling here. We'll take a look at some of those liveries we missed earlier with, I think it was, who was it? Was this Brazil's? No, it was Matman, there we go, in the black and yellow vehicle. Grander Slipstream. Alright, so I'm not sure what the starting grid is going to be here for this particular session, but we do know that there is a short stagger between the trucks, such that you have at least theoretically clean track for at least one lap, and that way you can't just blindly copy somebody. So we shall see what happens here with qualifications once they get underway. Do you hear the sound of a massively loud keyboard? That's just what happens when you have to communicate on Discord. Alright, we are now getting started. It says slow motion fire. Thank you for the heads up. And this is going to go by real quick. I don't think we're going to be in here more than 4 minutes. Remember, 1 out lap and then 2 racing laps. Very, very quick session. Loading in now. And we are away. It looks like Cratrium is going to be the first vehicle on the track, which means his first outlap is going to be absolutely terrible because he wasn't able to get up to speed before crossing the line. And it looks like the last driver today off the line is going to be Tavarius, who we spoke with earlier. 16 drivers on tap for tonight's event. Very exciting stuff here. And if you're wondering why his car is bucking, it's just the rev limiter engaging while he's not able to actually control that vehicle because of the staggered start. Taking a look at Audrex here coming through the first very long sweeper, and if you're familiar with the full circuit here, you'll know that's about the 3rd corner after a quick right-left. Saying that wrong, it'd be the 4th corner. Anyhow, the chonky vehicle is on its way. It looks like we do have a driver pulled off there. That's going to be Modern Weapon. Unfortunately, that has been kind of a pattern here these last couple of events. He's been having some real troubles either with the car, with the wheel, whatever. Either way, we do hope he does get that fixed before we get into the actual races tonight. So Cratrium draws first blood, and shockingly remains on top of the field here. Slow motion fire moves into second. And again, that was just the outlap, so don't put too much stock into those times. A lot of guys, it looks like, having dirty outlaps as well. Audrex moves to the top. Again, not surprising because started way farther back. And now we're going to start seeing those times start to shuffle quite a bit. Take a look at Born as Ghosts here in the Pizza Planet car from Toy Story. Hoping to get a good lap here on his first flyer coming out of the last very long corner. Coming to the line, currently in the 9th position. Cratrium takes the top spot back, and Bourne moves up into 2nd. So a very fluid qualifying session here on the FM4 Spec Series. No one is safe. Audrex in the Chonkmobile, going all the way out to the white line there. Trying to eclipse Cratrium's 55.3. We know people can get in the 54s. And he does not eclipse Cratrium, goes to 2nd place. Take a look at Slipstream, who was the driver who was flirting with the 54s earlier, currently in 8th, and does not improve. So that was either a slower lap or a dirty lap from Commander Slipstream. Very disappointing for him. And P1 on the moment is DTS Mondo, who gets a 54.805, so about 0.5 seconds clear of 2nd place, which is an absolute eternity when the lap time is only 55 seconds long. So Speedy Gonzalez moves to the top of the podium, and the drivers are now finishing their laps, so we won't see too many more improvements now as we go through the last couple of guys here on the track, because they're all pretty much done. Cratrium not going to be able to improve over 2nd place. One driver who may be able to steal that spot away was Tavares. Let's see if he was able to get it done. Answer is no, goes to 4th. Take a look at is unlucky. See if they can improve a little here. Coming to the line from 15th position, and the answer is, well, we may never know. Because that appears to be pretty much the end of the session. So we'll take a look at the lap times here and see where it all shook out. Remember, this is the order they crossed the line, not the order in which the laps are from fast to low. So it looks like Cratrium's got a 55.3, Born as Ghost 56.1, Fear the Fun 55.9, and so on and so forth. So we're going to look for any other 54s here other than Mondo, and the answer is none other. One dirty lap from Sleepy with a 57.5, so he'll be starting in 16th and final spot today. Is Anik Bobby, got a 102, so that tells me that was probably the out lap. Very unfortunate. And then it seems like most of the drivers are in that high 55 to low 56-ish range here. So we're going to have a big pack of guys in the middle, and then a couple off at the front. Most likely going to be Cratrium, Audrex, and DTS Mondo. So that was qualifying, and now we got to wait for Slow Motion Fire to set them up for race number 1 and see what's going to happen. See if any of our drivers wish to engage in interview conversation here. And if you are watching us on twitch.tv/SFM_official, please do say hello. We don't bite. Happy to answer any questions you may have, including how to get involved with the FM4 Spec Series. Well, it looks like nobody wants to talk to us tonight, so that is very disheartening. Hopefully someone will change their mind and top in for an interview. .33 laps on the board here, because remember there's a standing start, and then the final lap is used for results collection. And it looks like the grid has not yet been set, so that still needs to happen. And as soon as that does happen, we will be notified because it'll change on our screen. So while we wait, let's take a look again at the schedule here. Remember, 32 laps at Catalunya School, fuel and tires only because there's no pit lane. And after that, we're going to have Nürburgring GP circuit with light rain leading into moderate rain with a low chance of changing, and ending out with an 80% chance of heavy rain. So that means it'll start light rain for about the first third of the race. About that far in, 20% chance of switching to moderate. If it doesn't, it'll stay light, and then 80% chance of changing to heavy rain for the end. And it looks like we have FM4 Fear here. So Fear, this is Darkster in the SFM official booth. Do you copy?
Got you, bud.
All right, man. Well, how you doing? It's been a while since we've spoken.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Butterman?
You know, existence is what it is what it is, what it is. So you qualified in, I want to say, about the 5th or 6th position. Is that correct?
Maybe. I didn't pay attention.
Okay, well, it was changing a lot at the end there. I didn't actually see where you were. But anyhow, how are you feeling about your pace and the Subaru Brat for tonight's first race at Catalunya School?
Well, I definitely know I did a 55.9 in qualifying, and in practice I was doing 54.9, so I'm about a second off my own pace. So
All right.
I think there's room to improve.
Okay, room to improve. That's what we like to hear. And if you do manage to get back in those 54s, you'll be racing up at the front, most likely with DTS Mondo, who was the only driver to get a 54 in qualifying. Do you think you can take it to the Rapid Mexican?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. All right. Well, we don't like to hear that.
I know where I stand. I know where I stand. It's behind CT and Mondo and all them people.
All right, so you're going for a top 5 tonight then? Do you think that's a realistic goal?
Yeah, top 5. I haven't done a lot of practice in this car, and last week I disconnected twice. So,
yeah, that is unlucky.
We'll see.
I remember the last full season I did was the Formula Mazda, and I would have won every race I entered, but I either got taken out or disconnected on the last lap every time. It was very unfortunate.
Didn't that happen at Road Atlanta?
It did. I was leading by a country mile and disconnected in the last sector to finish dead last.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I remember that. Not a good time.
Yeah, I shed a single tear. But enough about me. It looks like you're going to be rolling off Fear in the 7th position here, alongside Slow Motion Fire. Do you think you're going to be able to overtake the drivers in front, being Patches Riley and Modern Weapon?
I mean, if it's modern, absolutely. I mean, if I have to, I'll give them the bumper. It don't matter to me none.
Ooh, a little bit of premeditated homicide going on here.
It's not homicide if you don't kill him.
Okay, premeditated grievous battery.
Exactly. That's
right.
What I'm going for.
Well, it's good to hear if you're going to confess to a crime, you confess to a misdemeanor instead of a felony.
Exactly.
Any parting words or thoughts or questions you have for us or for anyone else here?
Not really. I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try not to wreck anybody. It doesn't mean I'm not gonna give them the bumper. Show them a good time.
All right. Well,
That's about it.
Just remember, if you give them the bumper, they may give it back to you. And I wish you the best of luck in the wars to come, my friend. Good luck.
Yeah.
All right, that was FM4 Fear here, also known as Fear the Fun. And I think we're just moments away from getting started with tonight's festivities. Okay, I think there may be some instructions being given or something here, because as far as I can tell, everything is good to go. If you're watching here and you'd love to hear from Foonsang, please do aggressively tag him in the FM4 Discord. I'm sure he'll love that. So from the back of the grid here, we have SM Sleepy alongside Izuniki Bobby. Oh my god, I can't say words here. Sprizzow 78 and OK Fox Jason D, the second from last row. And there's Foonsang, the CFEO. Foonsang, my friend, it's so nice to hear from you today. How are those beans on toast?
Pretty good, mate. Pretty good.
Pretty good. Now, usually you'd be a pretty good contender here in this series, but I understand you've been having some mechanical gremlins with your controller. Can you please confirm if that's accurate?
That is completely true, mate. It's a terrible, terrible thing. The gas is dead. I can no longer go.
That is a slight problem. Have you been able to identify what component has failed, or is it just a general system failure?
It's the trigger, the actual trigger itself. Luckily, the face buttons and everything still work. It's the trigger itself. The potentiometer is on its last legs.
Gotcha. Well, hopefully you'll be able to get a replacement sooner than later, so you can get back to racing here with the hooligans of FM4. And Foon,
I'm missing it.
would you like to stay in the booth with me for tonight's first race at
Yeah,
Catalonian
why
School?
not?
All right,
Why not?
great. Well, we've got Foon Sang in the house, boys. Very exciting times here. I've got screen share up and running for you so you can see all our fancy graphics, Foon Sang, and let's get ready for a great night of racing. Loading in here for round number 1. Remember, the drivers can accelerate at any point between 10 and 20 seconds at the leader's discretion. So there is some variability here in when things get moving. And it looks like that could happen any second now. Just watching on their... Oh, jump start from Cratrium, or Tavarius, excuse me. No, that was Cratrium. Saw him hit the gas and then immediately stop because he knew he done goofed. And that's going to give DTS Mondo an unobstructed, pretty much 1 second gap from the word go, Foon Sang.
Yeah, a bit of a strange one from CT there. It's unlike him to make a mistake. The guy's a bit of a robot, so yeah, unusual to see.
Yeah, I'm going to have to give him a talking to later as his team boss here. But either way, he's still in the second position with Audrex and the Chonkmobile chasing him down, number 31 on 14. Heading into the last half of the track, which is effectively one gigantic right-hand sweep.
Always fun around here. Little cars, small circuit. This is a great corner to tear around on. Long, good fun.
If we look a little bit further back here, there's a massive about 10 drivers, bumper to bumper, 3 wide here. This can only end one way, and that is with glorious body contact. Here we go. And the SDR car sends it, immediately wrecks himself off the Sprunkmobile, and loses 1 spot in the process with Fox Jason D running wide to avoid. Running aboard with Matman at the moment. Heading into the second turn here, the left-hander. Whoa, that was some lag. And this is probably the weirdest corner in all of Forza because it's off camber, it's a braking zone, there's also a hill, and there's a gravel truck on the outside.
And there's a wall as well.
Yeah, pretty much if it can go wrong, it probably is going to in that corner if it's going to go wrong. It's a very violent section of the track, and we've got a battle here for second place, absolutely raging. Cratrium has been eclipsed by Tavarius, and that means Audrex is up into the second spot. So you could call that a little bit of karma maybe for the jump start from the Silent Crusader number 14.
Maybe.
While Mondo is pulling away, if you just take a look at that map there, he's got pretty much 1/3 of a straight all to himself, which in a car in E-Class like this is quite a long distance. Still side by side with Tavarius is Cratrium, trying to go for the cutback here, but Tavarius is going to get the best of the number 14, heading into the last 2 corners here. And up the hill we go. Looks like 2 drivers have fallen off the back just a little bit. That's going to be Sprzauz, and it's going to keep Bobby. Must have had a coming together of some sort there, or maybe went off into the gravel trap. Either way, not the best start from those 2. Not sure why, but maybe we'll find out later on. Battle for 12th. It's Patches Riley and I believe Fox Jason D going after it for 12th place. Side by side through the entire first sector there. A little bit of contact being traded, and Fox Jason D goes for the dive and immediately runs into Modern Weapon. Remember, fuel and tires for this race, so if you do accidentally slam somebody, there's no chance of damage here. I think that might make the racing a little bit more aggressive.
Hopefully.
You know, there's one thing you never want to say to a racing driver is, it's okay, you can't break the car. Try me, they say.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. Moving up to the top 10, we've got CMD Slipstream all over the inside of Slow Motion Fire. We know Slipstream can get into the 49s, didn't see it in qualifying, but he is on the move here up the inside of the league organizer and going to take that spot relatively easily here because he'll then have the inside line on the approach to the next corner and can pick. So good move for 8th position from Slipstream on Slow Motion Fire. Give it this map here.
Slip can be a bit of a fast boy sometimes, so I expect him to push up a little bit more.
Oh. Qualifying can be a little difficult, especially with such a short track here, not a lot of real places to make an overtake, but there are a lot of laps to use those few places, so there is a bit of a trade-off. Top 5 right now: Born as Ghost, Cratrium, Tavares, Audrex, and the leader still DTS Mondo, opening up quite a bit of a gap over second place Audrex. And the top 6 are starting to spread out here. Really, the back half of the field is where the close racing is at this time. Take a look at Kuda here, running in the 7th position in the Sprunk machine, which is always going to be funny for my 13-year-old brain. Got a little Grand Theft Auto humor for you. Slipstream all over the back seats of that number 68 machine. And I think he is going to start to think about maybe forcing him a little deep into the corner there. Oh, big send from Slipstream, and then Slow Motion Fire has to check up as well. And they all live to fight another day. Slipstream up the inside. It's going to allow Slow Motion Fire to get along the inside on the switchback, but then he'll be on the wrong side for the next corner. And predictably fades away a little bit. Now, Foon, you did actually get to drive a little bit in the first race night, correct? You did qualifying and then couldn't race, is that right?
I got around about 4 or 5 corners in qualifying before I realised I had a fault. Did try to carry on, it just got worse and worse.
Gotcha. So
I don't have too much experience with the car, really.
So in your 4 corners of driving, what would you say would be the optimal setup for the Subaru Brat? If you don't have a serious answer, I have a troll answer for you.
Yeah, I really haven't got a serious answer, mate.
The answer is 4 wheels on the ground.
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make Brat go fast.
There you go. Make
Brat
go fast. Oh, Kuda and Slipstream fighting really hard here in the last sector. Batman looking to He's looking to capitalize here. Oh, you don't want to get on that grass there, Slipstream. And Batman and Slow Motion Fire come together, and that's going to allow the black and yellow machine to get into the 9th position. Water weapon dropping back just a little bit there. Heading into the second of the consecutive extremely long right-hand sweepers here. Or dumps you out onto that little straight. This is such a fast track, but it's so slow. But because we're in such slow cars, it feels fast.
It's all backwards, yeah. It doesn't make sense, but it's so much fun.
Yeah, I think this is what they use for the driving school, which is why it's called that, or for go-karting, which would make sense considering it's short, got a mix of corners, elevation change, off-camber and on-camber, curbs, no curbs. It's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, this is a great little circuit for just testing out cars as well. So I can understand that they use it for a school.
Yeah, and we are now 1/4 of the way through race number 5 of 9 for the season. So we're almost at that halfway point. Riding on board with number 14 Cratrium, trying to chase down Audrex and Tavares. You can just still see DTS Mondo there as he goes through the left-hander, that black and mouse machine. Speedy Gonzalez is a mouse, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Small, adorable rodent.
Yeah, he was a little rodent. That's all I remember. I'm pretty sure he was a mouse.
Yeah. Oh, big mistake from Tavares there as he has to cut the track slightly to regain grip, and that might allow a move from Cratrium to unfold here as we come through the big sweeper. See if he's going to apply the chrome horn, or in this case, the plastic light bulbs to the rear bumper. He's definitely got more of a straight line speed advantage here, but then runs a little too deep into turn 1 and is not able to capitalize on Tavares being slow. And now we have to wait, and oh, here he goes, up the left side. Cratrium going to maybe deploy the dive bomb, thinks the better of it. Shame on you, CT, you gotta send it, man. And runs a little wide coming out. Still all over the back of Tavares.
Ooh, bit of a slip there.
Yeah, he's definitely got more pace here. It's just a matter of does he have the aggression and the space to get through.
Having the pace is one thing, but being able to get past is completely another.
Yeah, and that is a lot of times what you'll see where some of those events where you have to hot lap your way into the race and then the hot lappers can't actually race. I'm not saying that applies to this situation, but they're 2 completely different skills. Great Trim again running that slightly wider entry into the first corner, trying to do something to the back of Tavarius here, but just not having any fortune whatsoever. But he is alongside now. And again, he just doesn't want to go up the inside. Wonder if he's trying to get Tavarius into a false sense of security and then at the last second just open up the gates there.
Over many seasons of racing with CT, I've noticed that is one of his tactics. He will sit behind you just for a couple of laps and just see what you do, suss you out, and if you fall off, you fall off. I've fallen off many times while he's done it, so it's a tactic I've been on the receiving end of many a time.
Yeah, I've, as his teammate, been on the receiving end of that as well, in some of the higher level, well, not necessarily higher level, but faster events that we've done together. He's very methodical. And we're looking here at this three-way battle for the 7th position. Cuda, Slipstream, and Slow Motion Fire. A little bit of bump drafting happening in the E-Class Subaru Brat. Slow maybe trying to push Slipstream by Cuda, and he is going to finally get that pass done. And Cuda's going to get all out of shape and maybe allow Slow Motion Fire to sneak through there as well.
Elbows out from all three of them here.
Now, Food, did you watch the first week broadcast where we explained the meaning of the phrase balls out?
No.
Okay, so it actually has a very, non-adult meaning. So back when steam power was being adopted, they needed a quick way to tell how much power the steam engine was putting out. So they would make another output shaft and attach 2 metal balls to it vertically. And when the balls were almost perpendicular to the ground, they would say balls out, meaning full power. And that's how you could quickly tell how much power the steam engine was pulling out, and if you needed to put more coal in to make it burn faster. Yeah. So now balls out is just used to say maximum effort or maximum pace, but it does have a steam engineering meaning.
Oh, I didn't know that's where it comes from. Of course, I knew what the output balls are for, but I didn't know that's where the saying comes from. Learn something new every day.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool little tidbit of engineering history. And for those of you who also missed round 1 when we had Kiwi Chris with us all the way from Australia, the reason that this vehicle has seats in the back is to avoid the chicken import tax, because apparently if it didn't have seats, you'd have to pay for it as an agricultural vehicle because of the size. Put the seats in, it became a passenger vehicle, so naturally the seats were just made very easy to remove, so you could just, put a bunch of stuff in the back.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that, would the seats be easy to just, rip out?
Yeah, very easy to take out. This battle, oh, there we go. Great Trim starting to work on Tavarius there. He's on the other side. Now the mind games are coming into play. Going around the outside. Now he's going to be on the preferred line. Oh, Tavarius just ekes out back in front of Great Trim. Nice defending.
Very good defending there.
That really could have gone either way there.
Especially with CT pushing as hard as he is at the moment. He's on the intimidation.
He's channeling his inner Dale Earnhardt there.
He really is.
We'll come back to this in just a moment here, but I am spying a good battle for 12th position between Patches Riley and OK Fox Jason D. These two have been glued together on the map for the past 3 or 4 laps now. Nothing between them here. Soylent Green and Dynaco, both fake companies, because it is a fake company season. Now, you always run NVIDIA, is that correct? Funtang?
Most of the time. I have been mixing it up in the last couple of seasons, but yeah, I tend to run NVIDIA for the real seasons and the variety for the fictionals. And
do you know why Slow does that, or is it purely just for a fun factor?
It's to mix it up, because otherwise you'll get people such as myself, I'm very much guilty of it, we'll run the same kind of livery over and over again. You might change up the colours, but it'll be the same general kind of theme, and throwing a fictional livery into the mix, it kind of makes the livery makers kind of just have a little think, okay, what am I going to do this time? I can't just put, Sunderbo or whatever on my car again. I have to think of something. And as they're special, the community seems to kind of take it a little bit more serious, and we tend to get some really, really good liveries and really good entrances. It is a little bit of fun, but it just makes people think about their livery a little bit.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of really creative designs come out, such as the airplane on Slow Motion Fire's car. Dynaco. We've seen Aperture Labs before, so there's a lot of really creative or funny liveries. And we see here the Callahan number 64 going a lap down. Great Show unfortunately got caught out a little bit there through that corner, but there's not too much he can really do to get out of the way on a track this small here. And that is Audrex in the Chonk Puma knockoff in second position. So these two have made some inroads, but up at the front, DTS Mondo, he is just sailing away, as Christopher Cross said.
I love that song.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series? Tank?
I've heard of it, but I've never watched or been involved with it.
If you'd like to laugh your little butt off, go look up Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series, Come Sail Away. It is exactly as terrible and amazing as you would think it would be. Yeah. Right, but back to the racing. DTS Mondo, we haven't showed too much of him today. Number 320, Speedy Gonzalez. And we're halfway through the season and the race today. Very exciting stuff. He is on the back of Sprizow's 78 here, going to put a lap on the blue and white machine. I don't imagine he'll have too much difficulty in doing so here, considering the pace differential between those two drivers. 3 seconds to play with back to Audrex. So even if he does get held up a little bit, yeah, just going to wave him through. Smart driving from Sprizow's. Don't want to compromise your own race as well. And everybody looks to fight another day. And it looks like we have lost Modern Weapon, so that's 1 DNF out of 16. Unfortunately, that has been somewhat of a pattern for Modern Weapon these last couple of events. Not quite sure what the issue is there. Do you have any insight on that, Fontaine?
None at all.
I know he was having some issues with his wheel, at least at one point during Maple Valley, but no specific issue has been identified.
I can quickly have a look, see if he's posted anything. And he hasn't. So yeah, sorry, no idea, mate.
Well,
I'm guessing it could be internet problems. He does live in the boonies.
fair enough. Yeah, America is a pretty big place here, and our internet ranges from a great to you have internet. Battle for 5th, marinating at this point in time. Fear the Fun, who we spoke to earlier, chasing down Borna's Ghost, but really not able to get much closer than he is now. About 0.5 of a second between those two.
You can never put it past Fear to just sling up the inside, though, so he's always a danger.
And speaking of slinging it up the inside, this track is unique in that the braking zone for turn 1 occurs before the start-finish line. So if you want to maximize your lap in qualifying, you basically ruin your next lap. Makes for some interesting mental calculations of when do you want to go for that fast lap, if you want to go for it at all.
Or do you go for it the second or the last one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the first or the second, sorry.
Now,
Sorry, I'm in racing mode.
conventional wisdom would say you'd want to bank your second lap, and then on the last lap, when there is no another lap, just go straight, full speed. But you run the risk of dirtying your lap and not getting it, so it really is a bit of an agonizing decision for the drivers to have to try to do. And this battle for 12 is still going here. Patches Riley and Fox Jason D are really not letting up on each other.
Yeah, they're having a good fight here, two really balanced drivers. And a good old scrap. Good to see.
So the question then is, does the Soylent Green become made of the Dynaco, or is Dynaco just consume the Soylent Green as a fuel additive?
Ooh. You see, Soylent Green is people, which means that people must be somewhat dilutable.
Yeah. But like, can you add Soylent Green to Dynaco, or does the Dynaco dinosaur simply eat the Soylent Green and then decompose it to fuel?
Yes.
These are the things that we must really know.
I'm saying the latter one. Ooh. He dived in there, Patches.
Oh, he's thinking about it. Fox is on the inside. And I was just about to slip off of these two. Stay on this. Oh, he runs wide!
Oh!
Fox Jason D went a little too deep there. Just kidding, Patches Riley went a little too deep there. Allowing Fox Jason D to scamper ahead a little bit and perhaps catch a breath on lap 21. I've got a feeling that
Patches might see some blue, not blue, some red mist though, and catch Andy up.
Yeah, when the red mist descends, all shall weep, and it looks like Borna's Ghost has been overtaken by Fear the Fun. So we did miss that overtake, but it has happened. And Sprizzow is now being overtaken by the top 5 and 6 drivers as well here, wisely trying to get out of the way. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Foom, but the blue flag rules are simply don't be a dick. Is that correct?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Translation, don't overly impede those in your way. But my understanding as well is that if you are faster than the guy overlapping, you can unlap yourself.
Yes.
It's unlikely that will ever happen, but it's allowed.
If you're pulling away from the guy in front, it's,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
That's something we might see at Prague with the long pit lane and the short track, just on pit cycle.
Yes, maybe. That'd be an interesting one to see, actually, thinking about that.
It looks like Mondo is caught sleepy here, as we caught that individual earlier. Goes by the moniker of DPR Mrs. Waffle Titties in Discord. I'd love to know what thought process led to that being decided on as an appropriate name, but I'm not privy to such things.
I read it and thought exactly the same thing, Dark.
Creative names in the Forza community here. Mondo really stretching his legs here, truly living up to the Speedy Gonzalez moniker. I think the gap is now up to about 4 or 5 seconds. We'll see when that cycles through now, and it's 3.8 seconds. So Audrex is really not letting him get too far away, but also not able to make any inroads at all. And Kratrium has gotten around Savarius. So that's another overtake we missed. Man, I suck at this.
You're doing a fine job, mate.
Oh, big slide! Come on, CC, keep it on the grass. There you go.
He saved it.
I'd expect nothing less from
Saved
our
it.
Silent Crusader. And you can all blame Kratrium for this stream happening at all. He reached out and said, hey, you want to do some comms? Dustin's taking a break. And I said, okay. And here we are. So the plan was to have myself and at least one other Swordfishy doing commentary each week. So far we've had Kiwi Chris round 1, NASCAR Fan round 2, and then everybody died today, so Foontang has deputized.
Well, from the whole of the FM4 admin team, we're glad to have you on board, Dark.
Thank you. Let's taking a look at another FM4 admin here. Fear the Fun. Born Ghost is all over the 1 second gap between those two drivers, trying to make his pizza delivery come hot and fresh. You know, that is a good thought. You could put quite a lot of pizza in the back of one of these Subaru
You
Brats.
really could.
You know, let's take a little bit of a closer look here. Just look at how much room there is for activities and pizza. Look at that. You could even put like 2 guys in the back and then all vault the pizza.
They could jump out at the houses, just ding ding ding, quickly,
Yeah, hop back in with the roll bar.
Fastest delivery in town.
And somewhere an insurance adjuster has just had a heart attack. You did what? Bourne's got a tremendous amount of speed here coming to the line. Is he going to try to think about going up the inside of Fear the Fun? Answer is no. Fear the Fun expertly defends, takes the normal line, and Born's Ghost just doesn't have any room to try to send any sort of attack there.
Send it down the inside here.
And he does.
And he does.
Ooh, light contact is made, grass is deployed, further contact is made.
That's it, Born. Fight him.
Yo, he is present. Does give that spot back to Fear the Fun, because frankly that was a terrible overtake. And the fight continues. It's always good when the drivers have the wherewithal and the sportsmanship to recognize, hey, that wasn't a great move, and just give it back and
It's
try
always
again.
really pleasant to see.
And I have noticed a lot of that here in this league. Not a lot of bad moves, but a lot of good sportsmanship. If the drivers have an oopsie, they figure it out amongst themselves. Usually doesn't even get brought up in chat. It's just a thing that happens automatically.
But we're all here to have a good time, have a laugh with each other. We are at the end of the day just a bunch of friends racing, and yeah, things like that. It just happens between friends, I suppose.
Yeah, it looks like Fox Jason D has re-caught up to Patches Riley. So Human Food is chasing down Dinosaur Fuel. Not sure if they're going to make contact again, as in like catch each other before the end, but we do wish the Fox all the best, and Patches, more Patches? That didn't really make sense. It sounded funnier in my head. Let's do a little bit of a through the field here. DTS Mondo out up front, still unopposed from the word go. Only driver to get into the 54s here from the start. Audrex, second position in the Chonk. Puma knockoff, number 31. Third position is Kratrium in the, I actually don't know what sponsors on that car. Seekins?
I think so.
Not sure what that is. Fourth position, Tavares. In the blue, teal, white, gray machine. Fifth position, Fear the Fun, has been making moves. catching SM Sleepy as well to put a lap on them. Born as Ghost in 6th. And it looks like we mentioned earlier that battle for 11th and 12th. Well, that is not going to happen now because Fox Jason D has had an oopsie here. Dropped quite a ways back off of position number 11.
I have faith in Andy. You can bring it back together.
I hope he can do it. We have seen him run pretty well at Maple Valley last week. Made up a couple spots, held his own, but Patches is quite far ahead now. Really, nobody's within striking range except for this battle for 5th and 6th between Born as Ghosts and Fear the Fun. And I think part of that is that pretty much this whole track is on throttle. You're either on the brakes fully or you're on the gas fully. There's not a lot of really areas to make a move. Mentioned this in the first week, but Born as Ghost was actually one of the first drivers that I competed against in organized racing back on the Reddit Racing Forza 4 days. Spec Miata, GT3 Cup, that kind of stuff. Very fast driver. Him and his brother actually were a deadly combo. Skull shot. So long ago.
You were oddly one of the first guys I raced against in organised competition.
What league was that in?
That was Ripper. I'd only been doing organised leagues for, I think I'd done about 3 or 4 FM4 leagues at that time.
Oh, yes, Ripper.
Yeah.
Kiwi Chris's brainchild.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun one.
Yeah,
I hope we can bring that back someday.
That was good times, that was. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was when I had the shoe.
Oh, the shoe, the glorious shoe.
Yeah, Fiat 500 that was just insane on the brakes and no power whatsoever. It was so fun.
I had the little Mini, which was good times. Quite a balanced car all around the Mini. It was a lot of fun.
So a message to the drivers on tap: if you win a series, pick the Barth 695 because it is fantastic. Just ring that thing for all it's worth. Looks like a couple of drivers have gone a lap down here. Positions 15, 14, and 13. So the last driver on the lead lap is Fox Jason D. I don't think he's in danger of going a lap down because there's only about 3 laps remaining, because remember lap 33 is for results collection. And I also don't think DTS Mondo is realistically going to get caught at this point. He is just driving away from the field. Up to 5 seconds now.
Casual one driving away.
Yeah, well, Speedy Gonzalez. So in Mexico, do they call Speedy Gonzalez or Gonzalez Rapido or something else? Because in Spanish, the noun comes before the adjective, but the name Speedy is an adjective before the name. I don't know.
Maybe he's called something like Dave.
Speedy Dave.
Rapido Dave. Sorry, that was terrible.
Yeah, it was no worse than my attempt. Alright, Mondo takes the white flag, so the white flag before the white flag here. Really not too much anybody on track is going to be able to do to catch the black shod Subaru Brat. And really no possibilities of position changes that I can tell here. Slow Motion Fire may be able to get up to the back of Madman, but now he has the lap truck of Sprzauz to deal with. So that could potentially impede the forward progress of 9th position. Oh, here we go. Sprzauz tries to get out of the way, blocks Slow Motion Fire. Is one of those things that's bound to happen on a small track like this. Not too much he could have done differently there. That is the worst feeling when you're being overtaken either in multi-class or just by a faster driver and you try to get out of the way and you end up getting in the way more. It's like, damn it.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's hard. I find it after something like that happens to get back on rhythm, so hopefully Sprzauz will manage for these last couple of laps.
And we are going to ride on board here with DTS Mondo for the final lap as he comes to take, I believe, his first victory of the season, question mark? Second victory of the season, I think it's going to be.
I think it's the second, yeah.
Yeah. Don't touch my car, he says, on the rear bumper. Or on the liftgate, I should say. Coming through the final very long corner. Are we going to see a four-wheel drift here? Celebration? Or is it going to be all business to the end? The answer is all business to the end. Congratulations to
Keeping it
DTS
tight.
Mondo. Great race.
Great win for Mondo.
Hopefully he remembers to stop now that the race is over. Audrex comes home second, Kratrium hangs on for third, Tavarius fourth, and Fear the Fun will round out the top 5. Very nice. 6th position, Born as Ghost. 7th is going to be CMD Slipstream. Gap's getting a little bit spread out here as we get farther down. Well done to him. 8th position, Kuda 93. And you see a couple of drivers limping in between. That's just because they're a lap down and they don't get to finish. They just fall in line wherever they happen to be. 9th is going to be Matman Slow Motion Fire. Does hang on for 10th. And Patches Riley most likely going to take it home in the 11th position, ahead of Fox, Jason D, and then our lap finishers, Sleepy, Sprizzows, and Izunuki Bobby will be the last driver across the line. So Funteng, thoughts on race number 1?
Yeah, great race. Really enjoyed watching that. Great performance from Mondo. CT did his Terminator thing. Yeah, really good stuff.
Yeah, you have to hand it to Mondo. It's really hard to win a race and then never get past. It's called the Grand Chelem if you get the pole, the fastest lap, and lead every lap, and I think that may have actually just happened for Mondo. Grand Slam here. Very, very hard to do. So, really well done. And hopefully we can hear from one or more of our drivers today, so if anybody wants to say hello, please hop into the interview chat. Just put out the call for that now, as we slowly admire the handiwork here of whoever painted this car. I'm not sure if Mondo did it himself or if one of his teammates may have assisted. If you happen to know, please say so in Twitch chat, and we'll see who it is. And Funtang, I think it's only appropriate that I add you to the scrolling ticker on the bottom.
Oh, I'm honoured.
Yeah. Would have done it in the middle of the race, but I was in the middle of the race. There we go. Oh, where'd Foom go? He's disappeared. This is the most distressing unfolding here. There you are. Where'd you go?
I misclicked there, but I just thought I'd have a quick listen into what the boys were doing, and that's currently counting positions, so I didn't want to interrupt them by shouting at them to tell them to come and have an interview. So, yeah.
You know, there is a certain amount of logic to that. Well, let's take a look a little bit farther down the field here at some of these other vehicles. I know at some point they're all going to take off and try to finish the race. There's something just immensely amusing about the chonk cat on the side of Audrex's car.
Love it. It's so good.
I wonder how the fine folks at Puma feel about that. And that's my phone. Please give me just a moment here.
Remember to follow.
I have excellent news, Foon.
Oh?
My sister was baking bread, and the bread is done.
I'm finger kissing right now.
Meaning, in approximately 45 minutes, when the bread is cooled and we're done, I can go eat some. It's garlic, onion, and red pepper olive oil infused into a French bread type, very crusty, thick. And then she put parsley in it, so it's going to be good. I can taste it now.
Oh my days. I'm quite jealous.
Alright, so that is race number 1 done here. And it looks like we do have an interview already. It's Kuda. So, hello, Mr. Kuda93. Thanks again for the updated graphics, and congratulations on a good race tonight. You got Darkser and Funtang in the booth here.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going pretty good, man. So you finished in what position there, actually? Because the results screen is all kinds of wrong here.
8th.
8th, yes, that does sound correct. And that was Catalunya done, heading into Nürburgring. How are you feeling about getting a little bit wet and wild here?
Well, I've yet to do a single lap in the rain here, so it should be interesting.
Well, there's no practice like qualifying, or is qualifying going to be dry?
No, qualifying is starting race conditions.
Say again?
Qualifying will be, it's always starting race condition.
So qualifying always starts on whatever rate on whatever weather condition the race will start from. So in this case, it will be 20% moderate rain. So it might be raining, but it might not be.
Well, I think the way it works is that the first setting is always like constant, and then it's the percentage is how it changes.
No, I read it wrong. So it's light rain. So it's just going to be a light sprinkle.
All right. Well, you'll get some practice for qualifying then, Kuda. Or your practice for the race is qualifying, as God intended.
Yeah.
Praise unto Dan Greenewald. Anyhow, we saw that you had a couple of good battles through the race there. Who do you think of the drivers that you were directly competing against here threw the best move, block, pass today?
I mean, me and Slip had a couple laps where we just swapped back and forth pretty much every corner. But so far this far in the season, I've been battling with Matt pretty much every weekend. So.
Yeah. Well, it is always nice when you have a driver who you can battle with consistently. I know that's a lot of times how people get better. You just find someone to fight, and the two of you work on your racecraft as you go.
Yeah.
All right. And any parting thoughts or questions for myself or Foon as we load into Nürburgring here?
I don't think so. Just thanks a lot for broadcasting and keep it up.
All right. Well, thanks again to you for the excellent graphics. And Foon, you got any parting thoughts for Kuda here?
Not really, mate. Just good luck out there, mate. Don't smash it.
Yeah. Good luck, don't die, sage advice at all times. And it looks like Slow Motion Fire wants to come and say hello, so we're going to say goodbye to Kuda for now. And hello to Slow Motion Fire. How you doing, man?
All right, can you hear me?
I certainly can. You got myself and Foontang here in the booth.
Awesome.
All right, so you've been running this series forever. We've spoke about that at round one. You're over halfway through the season now, Slow Motion Fire. You're ready to kick things off at the Nürburgring for the back half.
Oh yeah, this should be a fun race. Had a good battle there at Catalunya with, I believe it was Slipstream, Kuda, and Matman. We were all kind of grouped up there for a long time, so hopefully that continues over into Nürburgring, and we can keep the fun in the middle of the pack rolling here.
Yeah, that was something we mentioned at the opening of the show here, that no matter what pace you are, there's always somebody to race with, and you guys have been proving that true every single round, so please do keep that up. This is the first and only rain round of the season. How did you decide on the actual rain variance for tonight as opposed to something like a fog or a rain lightning?
So Barney picked this track, and when drivers pick the tracks for the season, they get a say on the weather conditions, and his only criteria was it had to rain the entire time. So we just kind of picked some weather conditions that kind of gradually ramped the rain up.
So gradually ramped the rain up. Okay, that makes sense, because you want it to get progressively worse as we go. What's a little suffering among friends, right?
That sounded fun.
Yeah.
You gotta lure everybody into a false sense of security and then hit them with the hard weather.
Yeah. Now, while I've got you on the spot, Foon, I know you're a fellow admin here. One piece of advice you can give to Slow Motion Fire for the Nürburgring race.
Don't crash, mate. Just be careful because it's dangerous out there.
That is the best advice.
Yeah.
Well, don't crash applies to pretty much every league race known to man. And,
finish your night than to crash out of it.
Now, we were talking earlier, Slow, to I think it was Tavarius, about some tune changes that are typically wise on a rain track. You want to loosen the front up a bit, take away some of that front roll bar. Have you made any changes like that, or have you done something totally different?
I haven't. I've kept this car the same all season. It is so slow. I've been sticking with the mentality that it's better just to learn the car than to try and make changes every week. Because the way I'm driving it, I don't think I would see an advantage trying to nitpick the tune.
All right, well, I do think there is some logic to that. Consistency does beget good results. Any parting thoughts here before you get started with qualifying session number 2 of week number 3?
Just a big thank you to both you and Foon for jumping in the booth tonight and continuing to broadcast the league for us.
Well, hopefully
Can't say thank you enough.
Hopefully we can actually get the second race in here today. I know it didn't quite work out last time, but so far so good.
Knock on wood, the server's holding there.
All right, well, thanks again, Slow, and best of luck to you in qualifying, and let's get things moving here.
Thanks.
All right, so it's always fun to cut off the league organizer when he goes to say thank you. Didn't mean to do that. But anyway, Foon, we've got a nice long qualifying session coming up here, probably going to take about 7 minutes total.
Should be an interesting one. The rain always brings out fun times, so hopefully this grid will be a mixed up one. It probably won't be, but let's see.
I guess we'll find out. And I think it's now just a matter of making sure all of our drivers are strapped in, ready to go, which they appear to be. So any second now, here we go. It's going to be close. All right, here we go, starting up. Also, Jay Goodman Designs, also known as the leader of DTS, the Distance Divided by Time Equals Speed team, has indicated that he believes that DTS Mondo did actually paint his own vehicle, so that is good information to have. Also, hello, Midland Zeta. I saw you say hi. I didn't mean to ignore you. I just didn't notice. I'm so sorry. Moving on. Mattman is going to be our first driver to take off into the rainy German racetrack. I couldn't really say countryside because it's not countryside, but very, very different conditions to what we just experienced. Also, a little bit of a longer stagger, it looks like, about 3 or 4 seconds. Foon, you still with us, my friend?
I'm still here, I'm still here. I just had a bit of a Discord mishap.
Not allowed. Alright, looks like the gap is actually 3 seconds to start with here. So you can infer from that the gaps as we go. Some drivers are going to be a lot braver than others as they go through the initial outlap here. I expect we'll see somebody like a Mondo, Cratrium, Tavarius kind of overtake a couple of drivers before the outlap is even over. But that is part of the rain. It really does allow the drivers a little bit more of a fine control to sneak their way up the field. And you never know, somebody that may be racing at the bottom could just have something click and get a really good lap in.
Or one of the fast boys could just fall off.
That is true. The rain puddles can really pick up a car and throw it a place you don't want it to go. That has been known to happen. Also can be a little bit harder to get a clean lap, especially with some track limits being a little difficult like they are here at the Nürburgring GP circuit. A track that does get a lot of love by a lot of different leagues. Endurance events have been run here, touring cars race here, GT cars. Everybody loves the Nürburgring.
You can't not love the Nürburgring, in my opinion. It's just classic.
Yeah. And we would be remiss to not mention the passing of Sabine Schmitz, the Queen of the Ring. If you want to check out BBC's tribute to her, with a lot of the old Top Gear cast, past and present, definitely worth the 45 minutes. They actually just renamed a corner for her, actually. The corner where you turn off the GP circuit onto the Nordschleife itself is now named after her. I don't know the actual name that they gave it, but it is a really fitting tribute.
I do believe it's Sabine Schmitz curve.
And that does make quite a lot of sense. Germans and their very long corner names. So there's been a recent trend on TikTok and Instagram where you get a bunch of people that speak different languages to say words. So one fun variation of that is to have like an Italian, a Spaniard, and like somebody from Brazil say a word, and then the German person says like some really long, harsh sounding word. It's just funny. Like, funny in a, like, this is dumb, but also funny way.
The kids today and their TikToks and their Snap hats.
Yeah, back in my day,
I'm just a boomer.
Back in my day, we had IRC.
Good old IRC.
Text messaging and IMs.
ICQ.
None of this on-demand video chat stuff. Alright, riding on board with Mondo here, a Race 1 winner. Probably going to shoot up to first as soon as he crosses the line. No surprise there. Started at the back, genuinely just a little faster than everyone else, and immediately goes P1. And the last driver rather to finish the outlap today is going to be Izanaki Bobby. Our our beloved caboose for tonight's festivities, does cross the line and goes 8th fastest. Nicely done.
Good lap there from Nicky Bobby.
Yeah, it's a 2:52 out lap, so we are expecting times to go quite a ways down, and I think that was also the thus far slowest clean out lap. We did mention a lot of drivers were going to struggle to get a clean one in here because of the weather. Times at the top right now, 2:42.4 for Mondo, 2:42.8, so they're probably going to get around the 2:42s at least, would be my guess. Up at the front.
Sounds about right.
Just because, you know, out lap, especially with bad traction in the rain, gonna get a couple of seconds difference, and it's that fear the fun with an illegal livery there, Funtang.
Oh.
A moderator of the league has the wrong number boards on the side.
There's my hammer.
What is this heresy? Unacceptable. You must absorb swordfish. Also, hello to Genji in chat. If you do want to sign up, head on over to the URL scrolling across the bottom of your screen, reddit.com/r/FM4. Get signed up there. Most likely be placed on the reserve list, but in all likelihood, you'll be able to race.
Yeah, come join up.
You've already
Fun times
missed.
ahead.
You've already missed 2 rounds, so it's unlikely you'll be able to contend for the top spot at the end, but it's always fun just to race.
Nice,
Man.
clean, fun racing on a Tuesday evening. Who doesn't love it?
Yeah, I mean, I've done a couple of seasons. I did the E30 Formula Mazda. There was another one I did that I can't remember now, but it's good fun.
Yeah, you were good in that Mazda, I remember.
Yeah, it was a good one. Me and Salty Bancos.
Mm-hmm. That was a good season, that.
Yeah. Mattman still up at the front here, is in first car on the road, up into 6th position. We are going to see a lot of drivers jump up, even if their times are slower now, because they're going to be clean. So if you're confused by that, don't be. It's just how it is. Riding on board with Born as Ghost, going to go from 14th probably up to about 6th or 7th, and he goes to 10th, so still not a clean lap. He's got to be kicking himself there. One more chance, and that's a 2:41. So I was not far off with my prediction there, Foon. 2:39 for Cratrium. Oh, good. Oh, goody.
He's just smashed your crystal ball.
Well, if your prediction's going to be wrong, at least have your teammate go faster. So good job, Cratrium. Maybe he can get into the 38s, maybe a 37 in the light rain, who knows? I don't think we've seen Mondo get a representative time in yet either. Looks like a couple of guys, 41s, Tavarius, Fear the Fun. Mondo with a 40.1. So it can't be that only 4 drivers have got a clean lap. That can't be right.
I can see it, to be honest, mate.
Oh, okay.
Tricky conditions.
I figured it out. That was his out lap. So his last
Oh,
lap was
okay.
faster, but it was dirty, and that's what's showing on the ticker. Misleading ticker. Making us do work here.
That's
So-
just really hard.
It really is. Can confirm. So our fastest dirty lap thus far is going to be Born as Ghost with a 2:41.3.1, which if he does that clean would put him up into the 3rd position. So Born down in 12th is going to want to get a clean lap here. Miller Wappin as well, not having a clean lap. Kudos for Zhao's. A couple of guys there, the bottom 5, not able to keep it on the road so far, but they still have this lap to try to undo that. Fear the Fun, 4th position right now. One of the drivers in the 41s, the 41.7. I think Largemart may be a play on Walmart, now that I think about it.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Foon, have you ever been to America?
No.
Okay, so a couple years ago, we went to the 24 Hours of Daytona, and a couple of guys from the UK flew over. Plankton, who you may know, and Zai, and one of the things they really wanted to do was go to an American Walmart. So we went to a giant one in Daytona Beach, Florida, and they were just in awe at the sheer volume of stuff you could get, at the quantities that were available. You're the Fun, 2nd position. Nicely done.
Good lap from Fear.
It says
Good
8:19
showing
there, but that's just because that's the race time across the finish line. We won't actually know the lap time until we finish here. But yeah, if you ever come to America, go to Walmart. You can buy your toiletries, your ammunition, your food, a tent, clothes,
TV.
small explosives, all in the same checkout line. It's truly a weird place. Fox Jason D goes to 7th, goes to 8th.
Good lap from Andy. Well done, mate.
Let's see, Borna's Ghost did not get a clean lap. Ouch. Only him and Patches Riley so far have not. See if Patches can improve. Goes to 11th. Okay, and there's one more driver on the road here. It's Izunuki Bobby. Maybe they can get a clean lap here. Or we'll look at the FM loading screen. Crosses the line. And we don't know. Oh, the suspense. Let's take a look at the results screen. So Born as Ghost was indeed the only driver to not get a clean lap there. That is really unfortunate for Born. Graytrim with a 2:39.8 appears to be the only one in the 39s. Mondo, who won race 1 with a 42.4, only one clean lap. This is going to get spicy here.
This is going to be a good one.
And speaking of good ones, we've got a good egg here in the booth. It's Modern Weapon. How you doing there? Got myself and Foontang. Can you copy? Answer appears to be no. If you are speaking, we cannot hear you. Modern Weapon, you got us? Alright, well hopefully you can figure that out in the next couple of moments here. Anyhow, Foon, what do you think of that qualifying session?
Yeah, that was really good. Topsy-turvy, as I suspected it might turn out. So, especially at the midfield, rear end of the grid, there's going to be some people pushing through. I think there's going to be some good fights coming from that quality.
Yeah, it's definitely always interesting when qualifying is a bit of a curveball there. Really does make it a little enjoyable for everyone to spectate. And we're just moments away from race number 6 out of 9, second of night. And while that happens, let's take a look at the standings after week number 2, which would be race number 4. Remember, that does not include the first race of the night that we just saw, but Floofy up top, not here at the moment. Then Mondo, Kracher, and Barney, also not here. Tavarius, Born as Ghost, and so on and so forth. So any drivers on that list that maybe surprise you with how high or how low they are, Foon?
Not really. Barney's doing well, I do have to say, this season. He seems to have taken to this car to a bit of like a duck to water, really.
Duck to water. Well, if he was here, I'm sure he'd love to hear that, because it's nice
sure
and wet.
Yeah, I'm really surprised he's not here because, he picked this track. It's raining. Barney loves the rain. So, yeah, hopefully he's okay. He's, whatever he's up to, he's missed it, but, yeah.
Yeah, now let's just remind everybody what the rain conditions are. It's going to start with light rain, which is what qualifying was. Guaranteed to start that way. Then towards about the middle third of the race, there's a 20% chance it'll swap to moderate rain. So if it does swap, it'll be moderate. If it doesn't, it'll stay light. And then at the end, about 2/3 of the way through, there's an 80% chance it'll swap to heavy rain. So that is probably going to happen. Foon, I think I have a good question for you. What would you like to say to our friend Fox Jason D?
How you doing, Andy?
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Sure
I
can.
hear you, mate.
Awesome.
Qualified now. How did you feel you got on?
Honestly, I wasn't sure how I'd do because on the outlap I dirtied it, and it was right at that point where I knew, I think it was right before the final sector, so I wasn't sure going into lap 2 whether it would actually be clean or not.
And you did end up getting a clean lap, which is good. We saw
Yep.
Born as Ghost not able to actually get a clean lap, even though he had a quite fast time. I saw a couple of drivers actually only got one clean lap. Were you surprised by that, Andy?
Honestly, no. I mean, this is already you're taking an already technical track and then adding rain to it, so there's going to be some flip-ups like this, honestly.
Okay, so not any real surprise there from you. Remember, this race does have damage, so do be aware of that, my friend.
Yes.
We saw last race you had a really good fight with, I think it was Patches or Riley. You guys
Yep.
both went off a couple of times, but you were able to close it back down. How did that fight make you feel as a driver, wheel to wheel for 11th position?
Honestly, it felt good to have somebody just like that close the entire time. I mean, it's a shame that they managed to get past me in the end, and I managed and I messed up at just the right time where I couldn't catch back up to him. But I don't know. For me, it's always good to be able to have a close race with somebody regardless of position, rather than being alone by yourself for like most of the race.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than being in no man's land. I experienced that over the weekend at the Tora Tascar event by myself for almost the whole time. It just kind of happens sometimes. But it was nice to see you having that good battle, and hopefully you can have a similar experience at the Nürburgring today.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, have fun out there, mate.
Yep.
Thank you, Foon.
Any parting thoughts, Andy, before we hopefully get another interviewer in here?
No, I'm just I'll just say I've been having fun with these little cars. That's all.
All right, well, hopefully the fun continues and you can have a improved finishing result from where you start tonight. Best of luck, dude.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right, that was OK Fox Jason D, aka Andy. And I think we were just waiting for Mattman to get reconnected there, so since he has rejoined, we should be just a few moments away from the start of race number 6 out of 9.
Oh, this should be a good one, mate.
Dun da da dun da dun da da. Oh, savage meanness here happening from Slipstream to Born as Ghost. So naturally, I now have to put that image on screen for all to see because it was so savage. Apologies in advance, Born. You know I love you, my friend, but this is too good not to share. How do you say oof in British, Foon?
Oof.
Do a clean lap or draw 25. Big oof there. Well, if your friends don't make fun of you, are they really your friends? Oh, apparently the delay there was caused by me not pressing the spectate button, so my apologies to the FM4 community. I have now pressed the magical R key and we're good to go.
Don't worry, Dark, you're immune from my big hammer.
Ba-boom! Bornus Ghost has chimed in saying, rude! I mean, yeah, it was a little rude, but it was so funny. Alright, we're going to ride on board with Tavarius here, second row to get things started. Remember, turn 1 at the Nürburgring is downhill and slightly off camera. And it's going to be wet. Someone is going to die. It's just a foregone conclusion. So we got Craytrim, Fear the Fun, Audrex, Tavarius, Slipstream, Mondo, So Much Firefox, HD, Modern Weapon, Batman, Patches, Kudas, Brazals, Budakababi, Sleepy, and Born as Ghost to round out the field, and here we go.
That was impressive.
Yeah, I kind of ran out of air there.
I was going to ask you to do it again, but I thought that might be a bit much.
Yeah, I would probably just keel over dead at that point.
Yeah.
Hopefully nobody jumps the start this time. Field is under the control of Craytrim. And we are away. Looks like most of the field had a pretty good reaction time there. Great jump off the line. Not a jump start, but a forward momentum launch from our leader, Craytrim. Remember, the leader chooses when to launch at some point between 10 and 20 seconds. That is the way of the series. And I think everybody's actually going to stay on the track through turn 1. That is genuinely amazing. Good job.
Well done, gentlemen.
Discretion was the better part of valor there. Mondo already all over the inside rear quarter panel of Tavarius, wasting no time there. This is actually a very counterintuitive section of the track. You want to go super far to the left and then chop across, but the problem is if you do that, you leave yourself wide open to get past on the inside on this straightaway here.
Great place to pass people, though.
Oh, contact is made! And Tavarius is somehow still going in the right direction. They're 3 wide. I was expecting that to end in tears, but it ends with Mondo making up 2 spots.
Fantastic driving.
Yeah. It helps when the car is so slow, all you have to do to save it is just mash the gas. Oh, and Audrex is being forced off the track there. It's going to allow Slipstream through. I think Tavarius may be a little displeased there. Or is he damaged? Nope, just not happy. That was interesting. How would you describe that, Phone?
Yeah, I think he had a bit of a moment there.
Okay, so your top 5 then is Creature and Fear the Fun, Mondo, Slipstream, and Audrex. Born as Ghost, after starting in last, is already up to 8th position, so he's passed fully 50% of the field. That's always impressive. You love to see it when you see it. Heading into the back half of the Nürburgring GP circuit. I know all of these corners have names. The only one I know is the Schumacher S. And Bad Racing Fan. Oh, great move from Born's Ghost up the inside of Tavarius, but he's going to be on the wrong side going into the hairpin here. This could be bad. And Tavarius is going to be able to maintain, but overshoots it, and Born goes around the outside, only to be knocked off the track. Coming into the final corner here of lap number 1 of 12. Water Weapon making it racy on the inside with Born's Ghosts. Very long straight here, and a very slow pit lane. It's only like 35 miles an hour, so if you do need to pit at this track, it's going to take forever. I think the only pit lane that rivals the slowness is Watkins Glen on the front straight. Very, very slow.
Oh, that's such a slow pit lane.
Yeah, I got to experience a lot of that Sunday in the ASCC series. Pitted 3 times, somehow still won.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. Nice tight racing here so far. Mondo still holding in 3rd position. Putting a little bit of a gap over Slipstream in 4th right now, but not enough to where we consider him being fully gone. 1 second separating the top 3. And a considerable bit more as we go back through the field. Fox, Jason D trying to get ahead of Sleepy. Currently is ahead. Side by side. And it does finally get clear. Now imagine you're in the 24-hour race, right? And you're in a GT3 car. And you see a Subaru Brat in front of you. What goes through your mind? Is it, why are you here? Is it, do you need to brake for this corner? Or is it, oh my god!
Yeah, potentially the Subaru Brat goes through my mind.
Like physically?
Yeah.
Oh, Fox Jason D just deployed the chrome horn there on Mattman. Does lift off slightly. And Nitro Aid versus Soylent Green. I'm not sure which is worse. What is Nitro Aid made of?
I don't even know what Nitro A would be.
Is it like Gatorade made of nitrous oxide?
Maybe?
Is it the Tears of Dominic Toretto?
Ooh.
Ooh, Modern Weapon making moves on Born's Ghost, trying to on the inside. Looks like Modern's wheel is working because he's still racing in a good spot. Top 3 now within 1 second.
Ormond has recently switched to the wheel, and it's nice to see he's taken it to it really well. It's great.
Yeah, well,
except when he cuts the track like that.
Yeah, I think he just braked way too early there and then turned in a little too early, and yeah, you don't want to do that too often, kiddies.
Yeah, we're lax on track limits here, but we're not quite that lax.
Looks like Uniki Kuda has gotten around Sleepy, so did Kuda have an accident at some point? I didn't see it. He's way down there. Interesting developments, yeah.
Turn 3 last lap. But I don't think he was involved.
Well, Maybe we'll find out after the race, but here's your top three. They are nice and close. Mondo, Cratrium, and up at the front, Fear the Fun.
Good showing from Fear.
Yeah, we talked to him earlier. He said he was looking forward to the Nürburgring. Enjoys the rain, didn't get much practice, but he's doing fine so far.
He's always been good in the rain, his Fear, so it's not much of a weird thing to see him up front at the moment.
I think we may see a send here from Mondo on Cratrium, either into the big corner here with all the flags, the name of which is escaping me, or up through the Schumacher S.
I think this is called Stadium Curve.
I think you're right. Curve spelled K-U-H-R-V-E, correct?
Of course.
Curve. Here it is. He's got the outside line. Now, if you can force Cratrium to outbrake himself, you can swoop in and do the cutback from right to left and try to take the spot. Or just go around the long way. That works too. Nice move from Mondo.
That was a good move. He put CT in a compromising position there and just used the line for himself.
But Cratrium's not done. Still there!
Corner. Can he cut back?
No, he got loose.
He's carrying a lot of speed though, so you may see something into the chicane.
Jump back a little spot here. One of my favorite cameras, the roof cam.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
It's especially terrifying in a NASCAR event when you're all bunched together because you just see cars everywhere. See, Mondo just had a bit of a smoother line through there and didn't use as much curb. And that is going to allow him to pull up a little bit of a gap over Cratrium and begin to start his inroads onto Fear the Fun. Almost looked like Cratrium missed a shift there. That was weird.
He lost a hell of a lot of speed.
Slipstream still in 5th, Audrex in, or sorry, Slipstream 4, Audrex 5 at the moment. Nice and close as well. So really all the top 5 still within visual distance of each other. Spray aside.
Yeah, they haven't
Oh,
really
Cratrium ran deep.
Ooh.
Sorry, Foom, but Cratrium made a big mistake there, and that is going to open things wide open for Slipstream and Audrex. Maybe he was looking behind and forgot to notice the braking zone, or was looking too far ahead. Either way, a rare error from the Silent Crusader. And that's going to allow Audrex to actually pass Slipstream and try to focus in on Cratrium now. Shocking images here from the Nürburgring.
Stressing scenes.
It just makes me cringe. A little bit ways back here.
They make a mistake like that.
Tavares is starting to climb his way back through, chasing down Slow Motion Fire just ahead of Born as Ghosts, who's still in the 8th position after starting 8 positions further back. Impressive climb through the field for sure. Most of that done on the first lap. Modern Weapon in the 9th spot was just behind Born, but has fallen away a little bit at this point. And rounding out the top 10 is Patches Riley. I think that's the flag of the state of Arkansas on the car, I want to say. I've actually made a bunch of the state flags just for fun.
What's the one with the really complicated one? Is it Florida?
I made Florida.
Oh, did you make Florida?
Yeah, it was like 1,000 layers that looked terrible.
Oh my lord.
But the guy who asked me to make it didn't even use it, so it was a waste of time.
Was it Fear?
I think it was. Oh, big rear end from Mattman on Fox Jason D. Oh, telephone. Get that real quick. Sorry, everybody.
Some good racing here from the three guys. Oh, some good pack racing here. Kudo and Jason are going to have the speed.
I have excellent news. The fresh bread is ready to be cut.
Ooh.
My sibling was simply alerting me of this fantastic information. Did Mattman just make a pass there?
He did, yes.
Did he just make 2 passes there?
Yes, he did, yes.
Excellent. Well done. Oh, Andy, hang on.
Good save.
It helps when you get sideways at like 12 miles an hour. Just get it back moving again. So I don't think we're going to see anybody going a lap down here today, but there are some quite sizable gaps opening up. Looks like about 45 seconds between first and last here as Fox Jason D runs into the back of Mattman, who then goes off, who then gets past. So that was not a great move there. Maybe consider giving that one back, or just deploying the Chrome Horn. Okay. We'll watch this battle with great interest. No quarter being given here. Kuda's still there.
Oh, Kuda's not gone anywhere. Yeah, he's still looking.
Oh, more contact is made. And nearly 3 wide. Oh my goodness. Like we said, all through the field, all kinds of battles, always happening.
These 3 are just dying to go 3 wide.
Oh, Kuda makes the send.
Look at Kuda, what a send.
I think Kuda's got a bit more pace over 1 lap here, but like we said, pace does not mean passing ability. You still got to get around. This is a great scrap. Meanwhile, Andy just in front is thinking, I'm free! Get away! Run for the hills! It's like the Sound of Music all over again.
Hopefully Andy doesn't panic here and he just calms down and starts to drive away a little bit.
Yeah. Nose clean. Get some gap going.
But Mattman's got some speed in him at times, so...
Oh, big wiggle! Big wiggle from Andy Dershon is going to allow Mattman to get up on the right side of the Soylent Green machine. Kuda fading back a little bit there through the Schumacher S's. And this could get quite messy as we head up through the last sector of the GP circuit. Get rid of the map here. I want to see all this action.
Here comes Kuda again.
On the inside of Mattman, he's going to make a little contact on the exit, and Mattman is going to go into the gravel trap! Ah, oh, you hate to see that. Kuda, you killed a man. I'm sure he's going to be absolutely kicking himself if that's happened, because I know Kuda doesn't want to do that. So, one oof-size oopsie happened there, and somebody's pulled off the track. I think that's Modern Weapon. Based on the fact that it is indeed Modern Weapon. He does get back moving. So, whatever the issue may have been, seems to have been temporary.
Now, Kuda's a good guy, he won't be happy with that.
Yeah. Well, sometimes accidents happen, sometimes they don't. But
that's the joy of racing.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Born as Ghost has gotten around Slow Motion Fire up into 7th position for a net game of 9 spots. Incredible. The delivery shuttle speeding its way with the pizza to your local star cluster. Born has a bit of ground to make up on Tavarius here, who is in 6th position. You can just see the yellow truck a little ways behind. And those Callahan brake pads surely must be singing now in the rain. What, no comment? Yeah, it was bad. I'm trying! Little ways ahead, CMD, Slipstream, and Craturium battling for the 4th and 5th position. Slipstream a little behind the other gray vehicle. And CT is losing ground a little bit with Audrex here, but Mondo and Fear the Fun, this is where the action is going to be. Mondo ran a 39.1 fastest lap so far, which is about a second quicker than Craturium's qualifying time. So he has got some pace there in the black Brat. To the final sector, Fear the Fun gets real sideways. It's going to compromise his exit up the hill.
Mondo's reeling Fear in, but Fear has a really, really unique ability to drive the widest vehicles known to man. So this could be an interesting one.
Are you calling his cars fat?
Yes. He does. I don't know how he does it, but he can be really tricky to pass at times.
Oh, well, I mean, cut the corner, that can certainly make it a bit tricky. But...
yeah, there's that as well.
Alright. Mondo is certainly chasing down Fear. There's a send into the last corner. Oh, Fear hits the tire wall! just barely avoids causing damage there, but I think a tire rolled away. So that is going to maybe complicate things as a later revolution of the track happens. Back on the roof cam here, heading down the long front straight of the GP circuit. Mondo has a little bit of an edge. Is he going to go for the dive? The answer is no. Maybe going to try to cut in. There it is.
There it is.
Mondo not quite clear yet because he's on the outside. Fear still
Feel
alongside.
happily put it in.
Still there. Mondo using a little bit of the runoff. Out of the stadium section into the GP circuit. Fear taking the better line. Mondo on the inside, but is going to have a bit of a compromised exit. And that is pass completed. Nice
Good
job,
racing from
Mondo.
both of them. Good pass.
It was hard, but it was fair. Can't ask for more than that. And that was a 39-0 last time by Mondo. Might get in the 38s by this rate.
Scary pace.
Well, Fear just dipped a couple of wheels into the gravel trap, so goodbye, Mondo. Race over. Unless he further makes a mistake. And Creaturum is starting to gain inroads here onto odd tracks. Slipstream losing a little bit of ground. So maybe you'll see something similar in a couple of laps.
Potentially, if CT gets his head down, yeah, I could see him closing the gap. But you can't discredit Audrex, but if he wants to go, he can too. Just put his head down and away he goes.
Yeah, Bornus Ghost still not quite able to catch Savarius, but he is getting closer. By the power of pizza, he is getting closer. Again, all these jokes sound much funnier in my head. Just saw a position change there with Matman and Kuda. So those two have tightened it right back up. Fox Jason D is actually still holding that small gap there. Nice job, Andy. Keep doing what you're doing, bud. You got this. Or does he? Vote now on your phones.
If Matman and Kuda maybe work together a little bit, they could catch him.
Question from Civic Element. Oh yeah, Dark, how was your pizza earlier? It was quite good, actually. I got pepperoni. It's a traditional New York style pizza. Very good. Nice and crunchy. No complaints.
I think I'm going to get pizza tomorrow.
Nice. So how is pizza in the United Kingdom? Is it like Pizza Hut type pizza, or is it like American
pretty
type
much.
pizza, or Italian type pizza?
Pizza Hut style pizza would probably describe it best.
So like real thick crust and a lot of cheese?
Not always. It's halfway between like a really, really like, you know, thingy, like thick Pizza Hut and a proper thin, crunchy one. But it all depends, you know. You can get the deep stuff, or you can get actual crunchy stuff. It's there. And you can get curry on pizza as well, which is amazing.
Curry pizza.
Curry pizza, it's next level. It's great.
That is absolutely blasphemous, and I can't believe you just said that. And where did Fox Jason D come from? I just noticed a position change there.
Yeah, same.
Glanced over at chat, completely lost my train of thought there, but Fox Jason D has been overtaken by Matman, and he's going to strike back! And once again, our favorite threesome is all together here. Matman on the inside, Fox in the middle, and Kuda just behind.
Kuda's always there watching.
3 wide. Sprunk on the inside, Soylent on the outside, adult drip pans on the back. Lots of fluid-related jokes can be made today, boys. And Kuda has taken them both now. Arguably the faster of the 3 drivers. Maybe he'll be able to get away. Maybe he won't. What do you think is going to happen here, Foon? Is Kuda going to hold on?
Potentially. I've got a feeling he may just start to drive away a little bit, but you can't discredit these two. They might work together and close him down, but they might not. They might end up scrapping themselves. Just leave Kuda to just drive away.
Well, Kuda does run a very, very deep line there, and that's going to allow Fox Jason D to get up front and past on the run up to Schumacher.
And all that shows exactly what I know. Nothing.
Nothing at all. Now, I can't actually tell if the rain has gotten heavier. Can you make any visual differentiation there?
Yeah, there's more puddles here for certain. They're looking like they're getting a little bit deeper.
Yeah. Well, one way we can check is by looking at the last lap times of the drivers. So let's see if we can get that pulled up here, see if they're slower. We'll know for certain once it slaps through the front. 2:39.41. I don't think it's changed just yet. Or if it has, maybe it's only moderate so far. It's kind of hard to tell.
Looks like the spray is a little bit worse to me.
Yeah, it's very hard to tell there.
It's raining dark.
It's rain and water. Oh, Fox Jason D runs real deep, and Matt goes to cut the corner, runs into Kuda. And there's Modern Weapon. Where did he come from?
A new challenger joins the battle.
Dun, dun, dun. So we've got red, yellow, blue, and green. Oh my god, we've got all the primary colors. Modern Weapon just made... Whoa, he almost made 3 spots in one corner.
Fantastic move from Modern Man.
But he's on it, he's on it.
Look at this. This is why we love spec racing.
Where else are you going to get this? Seriously.
Exactly.
Pushing as Ken, they stop for turn 1. Fox Jason D is on the outside. Modern Weapon on the inside. Matt skips the corner entirely. Kuda's still there. This reminds me of that arcade game with the trophy trucks where there's 4 steering wheels.
Iron Man.
Is that what it's called?
Well, Super Off-Road. It was Ian something's Iron Man. There was a licensed version, and then there was a version called Super Off-Road, which was essentially the same game.
Yeah, they had that at the roller rink where I used to live. It was very fun. Oh my goodness. 4...
Based on an old arcade game called Super Sprint.
Yeah. 4 trucks. It's laps 9 of 12. They're still this close. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, this is fantastic to see.
4 trucks within 1 second. And none of them are really doing anything untoward. They're just racing really hard. And
A little bit iffy on track limits, but it's hard racing. Sometimes you've got to allow it, you know?
And Andy is still hanging on for 10th spot. He has got to be loving this right now.
Modern's looking hungry, though.
Just hear the gentle application of the throttle over the puddles. Don't want to kick it out sideways. And into the first part of Schumacher we go. Is anyone going to blink? A little bit of a weird entry line from Andy there is going to compromise his second exit here. But not enough to where Modern can take any advantage. And it looks like they're actually starting to drop Mattman and Kuda. So Kuda must be furious right now. He just can't get a break. Oh, Modern, what are you doing? Stays on the track. That's going to allow Mattman to catch up a little bit. It seems like all these drivers are just running a little bit too conservatively through this section of the track.
I think they're scared of the gravel trap. If it gets you, you're done. Especially coming through here, you know, high-speed area. Yeah, I think they're just trying to avoid that gravel trap, really.
Yeah, well, it is still Mondo, Fear the Fun Creature, him up at the front. About 3 seconds between them, and there's Modern's move on Andy.
Good
Going
pass.
Slightly off track there, but he's not fully clear. Fox can still make a move. Heading into the final corner. On the brakes. There's the move. He's got the preferred line. And coming off, they are dead even. Oh! Little contact is made there. Big wiggle from the wheel driver. Fox Jason D still on the outside with only 3 laps to go, including the one we're on. Remember, lap 10 is based off of where the leader is, not where these drivers are. Getting into turn 1, Mattman again decides the corner is optional. I really needs to stop doing that. And we head into the stadium. Alright, now he's starting to pull away a little. Oh, big mistake!
Oh!
And they're still this close. I love this.
This is fantastic.
Yeah. Are you not entertained? Is this not what you were here for? Or why you were here? Just zoom in a little so you can see just how close they are on the minimap. This is comparable to what the drivers would see in race with the Forza radar. Unofficial name for that minimap. As you zoom out, it's just one dot. That's it. Let's take a look at
Brats.
let's take a look at the tire wear that these drivers are experiencing. About 4.4% to 3% for Modern Weapon. Take a look at Fox, Jason D. 4.3, 2.6, so a little bit gentler on the tires. Cuda, a little bit behind. 2.5, 3.3, even gentler on the tires. And then Sprazow's at the back, off that battle, a little bit harsher. So pretty much the same for those four drivers there that we were looking at. I do want to jump up to the battle for third and fourth, because they're also really close at the moment. Side by side, out of the last corner, Kracherum is going to get all Drex.
Yeah, got him on the inside there. Good move.
I just kind of instinctively thought we should look, and the chonk was chonked. 2 laps to go. Oh, this is the last lap, actually. Because remember, lap 12 was for results collection. So white flag has been deployed one more time around the Nürburgring GP circuit. Kracherum taking a slightly deep line there. I don't know where to look. Do we jump back? Do we stay here?
I don't know. You're the director here, Dark.
Born as Ghost and Tavares going at it. It's all coming together at the last lap here. Last race got real spread out. Not so much here. Everybody's next to somebody. Oh man, they're so close. Side by side again. Audrex has gotten around Kracherum. When did that happen? Must have been early in the lap.
Yeah, must have been.
And that gap is truly starting to open up now a little bit, so I think we can safely divert our attention back to the monumental scrap for 10th place. Oh, Matman, big wiggle, going for the dive. Is he going to make... He did not quite make the corner, but he didn't quite kill everyone either. So they're now 3 wide. Position has been made up by Matman on Fox Jason D. He's going to run into the back of Modern Weapon and run into the back of him again. Oh my goodness. This is going to end in tears for somebody. Dive bomb from Andy Dershon.
That was a good pass.
That was a good pass. Oh, Matman. He was being pushed from Kuda, though.
Yeah, that was a Kuda push.
Still side by side here. They are going to jump away just at the end to show who wins the race, but my goodness. This has been going on for fully half the race here, roughly. And Modern Weapon's off the track! Oh, there's Kuda on the inside. They're 3 wide. Coming into the braking zone. Into the stadium curve, I think is what you said it was called.
One down the bottom here is stadium.
Yeah, stadium. On the approach to stadium. Still bumper to bumper. Modern Weapon just trying to hang on there for 10th. Matman trying to take it away. Fox Jason D saying, I don't want to move! But we are going to jump away from this real quick because across the line in first place is going to come DTS Mondo to complete the sweep. Win number 3 out of 6 for Mondo. Congratulations. Second place will be Fear the Fun, but all of our attention right now is on this battle for 10th position. Who is going to get it? They are so close. Oh, big slam for Matman. Not really sure what caused that to happen. Maybe he got loose, maybe he just sent it. But that's going to promote Kuda now up into 11th, and Modern Weapon's in the gravel again.
It's going to compromise his speed.
Matman has dropped out now. Maybe he got some damage from that collision there, but this could end up being 3 wide into the brakes for the final hairpin. Kuda hanging it all out on the left side of the track. Where is Fox Jason D going to go? Is he going to stay in the middle? He's going to stay in the middle and try to get through these two, but he's on the wrong side now. Oh, and they all come together. It's going to let Matman to come through and steal all the spots, but he runs into Kuda. This is crazy.
This is wild.
Yeah. Coming into the final quarter, Matman's on the inside. Fox Jason D in the blue Soylent Green machine. Andy the Man, 3 wide. And it's going to be 3 wide on a run to the finish with Matman on the right, Fox in the middle, and Kuda on the left. Modern Weapon has escaped to take that 10th spot. And And they're rubbing to the line. Who's going to get it? It's going to be Fox Jason D, who does end up getting the spot ahead of Kuda. Batman did make it through with a bit of touchy-wutchy there. 14th position will be Sprzow's, and I think we can breathe now for him.
Great race.
So, congratulations again are in order to Mondo, but what a race that was for 10th position. Second, Fear the Fun. Third, Audrex. Fourth, Craytrim. 5, Slipstream. 6, Tavares. 7, Born as Ghost. 8, Slow Motion Fire. 9, Patches Riley. 10, Modern Weapon. 11, Matman. 12, Fox Jason D. 13, Kuda. 14, Sprzow's. 15, Sleepy. And 16, Uz Unikibaki. Whew! That was a battle. That was a battle. I'm gonna like go to bed later and still be thinking about that.
Yeah, that was something special. That was really good. Fantastic driving from the 4 involved there. Fantastic driving from everyone really today. Mondo did really well. Fear, fantastic showing from Fear. He loves the rain. CT, good show. Born, what a showing from Born. What a charge. Yeah, great racing. Wicked round.
Yeah, that was probably some of the best racing I've ever observed on a weeknight series like that. That was just so entertaining. That was really, really fun to watch. Let's see if we can talk to any of those drivers here. Fox, Jason D, Matman, Modern Weapon, or Kuda. After the results are taken, of course, don't want to impede with that. But what a race that was.
I need a drink.
Yeah. What kind of drink you getting, Food?
I've just got water.
Good choice, good choice. I think I'm going to go get some water as well with my fresh baked bread. And let's talk to one of those drivers who just put on the greatest show on 4 wheels in the past hour here. Fox Jason D. Andy, that was fantastic.
Oh God, holy crap, that was insane. That might have been one of the craziest races I've ever been a part of, like, in any race. Like, Tora, RFM4, whatever, that was... Holy crap.
Yeah, that was really aggressive, mostly clean, couple track cuts there, but it seemed like you guys were having a good time. How was the chat while that was all unfolding?
I mean, we were all talking with each other all throughout the entire thing. I mean, I will say it definitely got a little bit quiet during that last lap, but it still was just like, we were all talking with each other the entire time.
Yeah, that was some really, really competitive driving that we observed there. You were in the 10th position for a while there. I think you ended up, what, 12th at the end of that?
Yeah, I ended 12th, unfortunately.
Yeah, can't be mad at that, though.
Honestly, yeah, like, I might have lost a couple of places, but with that level of just, like, close racing, I mean, it was unfortunate what happened with, like, that little collision near the end, but it was still just, like, it was still a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was honestly some of the best racing I've observed here as a broadcaster, outside of possibly one of the endurance events, but yeah, real good job there. And stay in here for a moment. We got Modern Weapon here as well. Modern, can you hear us this time, buddy?
Yep, you're there, Modern.
Beep boop.
Testing.
Can you hear us, gentlemen?
I can't hear Modern either.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate. We'll have him try again.
Ooh.
Pain. Alright, well, either way, really good job tonight, Fox, as well as Modern Weapon. You guys put on a heck of a show there.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get Mondo in here as well. Can you hear us now, Modern Weapon?
Hello.
Apparently not. Alright, well, any fighter...
That's something.
There we go.
There we
There we
go.
go. Hey.
Modern Weapon, you finished a race.
I did. I did some internet work on my router, and it seems to maybe it paid off.
And you also you put on a hell of a show there, too, with Fox, Jason D, Matman, and Kuda. You guys were swapping spots constantly there.
I tried to give up 10th place at the end there. I did my darndest, and thankfully they tried to give it back to me.
Oh, it was just... That was... Seriously, man, that was such a fun race.
Yeah, that was some of the most entertaining spectate racing I've had in a while.
Yeah, same.
All right, so the two of you guys, you were pretty close that whole time there. We saw a couple of times that some corners were made optional by some of the drivers in that fight. Any sort, I know you're an admin minor weapon, any sort of stewarding that may occur, or is it kind of a hands-off type deal?
It is mostly handoff unless it's Fear doing all the cutting.
Unless it's Fear. All right, well, I don't know if it was Fear involved in there, because he wasn't... Frankly, we didn't look at Fear too much in this last race, but that was very enjoyable. So, kudos to you guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looked like it, mate.
Any parting thoughts from Modern Weapon or Fox Jason D before we speak to Mondo?
One hell of a race. Honestly, this was the race. I'll be honest. This was the one race I was dreading just because it's in the rain. But this turned out to be one hell of a fun time.
The rain always delivers.
Thanks again.
Looking forward to the short races next week. Should be quite entertaining, especially at Prague.
Yeah, Prague with the death chicane is always fun, and then
we're doing it with. And we're most likely going to be doing it with damage on.
Of course, there's pit lane.
People are going to get murdered.
All right, well, we do have some more people to speak to tonight, so once again, thank you, Fox and Modern Weapon, and best of luck to you guys at Awake number 4 in 7 days' time.
Thank you.
Let's bring in DTS Mondo here to say hello. Mondo, do you copy? You got Foontang and myself here in the booth. Answer is no. Let's try that again. All right, Mondo, can you hear us now? Dark Sir Mondo, do you copy? All right, answer is apparently not, so we're going to try to speak to Kuda while Mondo gets that straightened out. Kuda, thanks again for the graphics, and what a battle that was at the end there with Fox Jason D, Madman, and Modern Weapon.
Got a little wild there at the last half a lap.
Yeah, that was really competitive. A lot of passing going on back and forth. Some corners were extended, some corners were shortened. But it looks like you guys are having a good time there.
Oh, yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So earlier we kind of talked a little bit about how the rain didn't really get too much practice in. Do you think today went about as well as could be expected?
I mean, I definitely would have liked it to go a little better. I would have liked to have been at the front of that 4-car battle. But overall, it's not last, so I'll take it.
Now, Foontang and I also noticed at one point you dropped down to about the 14th position. What happened there?
Had some fourth glue with Matt Man on the first lap, and we went way off into the stand trap, so I had a lot of progress to make.
I'll do it. That Forza glue, it's very strong. If only we could use it to bond the human race together as one cohesive, functional society.
If only.
Any parting thoughts? Well, I shouldn't say parting thoughts, but do you have any moves of the race or drivers of the day that you experienced today, Kuda?
I mean, shout out to Andy, Fox Jason D. Having raced with him for multiple seasons, his racecraft has just gotten so much better, and it's always super fun to race with him.
Yeah, today was probably the best I've ever seen him drive, so I agree with that sentiment. Foon, any parting questions for Kuda93 here before we try Mondo again?
To be honest, today with the racing, action speaks louder than words. I can't really think of anything to say. Everyone's just been great today, so yeah, I've nothing to add.
I can't wait to go back and watch the stream.
Keep doing what you're doing, Kuda, mate. It was great tonight.
All right. Thanks again, Kuda, for coming to say hi, and we're going to try to talk to Mondo again. So I shouldn't say better luck, but good luck next week, dude. And let's bring in Mondo here. All right, Mondo, can you hear myself and Foon now? I do see you are muted. Mondo, would you like to speak to us today? Apparently. Okay, let's try this one last time. All right, Mondo, can you hear us now? Yeah, if you can hear us, we cannot hear you. All right, well, it looks like whatever's happening is just not going to happen. So, looks like it's just you and I, Foon. Any closing thoughts after the night of racing we just experienced today?
What a set of races. I didn't think, especially the Catalonia race. Oh, hello. We've got Mondo back. Can you hear us now, Mondo?
Yes, hello?
Hey!
Hello, Mondo.
All right, so we'll come back to those
Yeah.
closing thoughts in a moment, but Mondo, congratulations on the sweep.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was unexpected. I had my money on Patreon, especially after the last week's practice. So, and then Fear came out of nowhere.
Yeah, but you had that rough qualifying, only got one clean lap. I think it was your out lap, and then you just kind of passed everyone.
I think I got lucky. I tried to make my moves when it was light rain, and it kind of paid off because I knew once the rain was really heavy, then I had no chance of passing anybody.
All right, so no chance of passing in the rain, but you did pass in the rain.
Well, I mean heavy rain. I mean it's light drizzle, if you call that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty sketchy out there as far as trying to turn or lack of turning for most parts.
Yeah. Now, I have a question for you unrelated to the racing, and it's a question that you may or may not know the answer to. Speedy Gonzalez, in the country of Mexico, is it referred to as Speedy Gonzalez or as something else?
I have no idea, to tell you the truth.
No idea. All right, so that's going to be a further mystery for us.
Yeah.
Any particular reason why you chose Speedy Gonzalez for your livery?
I needed a meme, and I'm Mexican, so it's my country. And what's better than a meme than a Speedy Gonzalez on a car?
Helps that you're also really fast, mate.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I'm not. I mean, if you tell my teammates that, they'll laugh at me.
Yeah, well, you're on a pretty speedy team there. You got Mead, Lawrence, Jake, TBK, who I just had a good battle with a couple days ago. So it's a pretty good team.
Yeah, I'm probably one of the slower of the lot. So.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll get to see you in a couple other leagues as we progress through the 2021 year here. There's plenty of racing action to come up, including more seasons of FM4 Spec. Any closing thoughts for us, Mondo?
No, great racing for everyone. Well, again, I base it all my wins on luck, and thank everyone for coming around. I had a good time.
All right, well, thanks again for joining us here in the booth, and we'll get to our closing thoughts here with Foon right about now. So, Foon, you were saying something about Catalunya, and then Mondo actually got his mic to work, so what were you saying?
So, as usual, in the slow cars, Catalunya delivered in a big way. Fantastic racing. Really, really, really enjoyed that race. And Nürburgring, just wow. What more can I say about Nürburgring today? The rain, it really, really changed everything. The qualifying, the mishaps in qualifying from people really changed up the grid, and it led to that big 4-car scrap. That was so good. Just what else can I say, Dark? Honestly, there's nothing more I can say except
Yeah, it was genuinely really entertaining. I don't really have any criticisms of how anything went. It was just a fun watch, and hopefully we can replicate the same type of magic as we head into week number 4.
Yeah, hopefully. Week 4 is going to be a good one, I feel. Prague, Death Chicane. Oh, that's going to be just an amazing watch. Brands Hatch Indy, always a really good time in slow cars. FM4, we've run there a couple of times, and it's always been really good. A lot of people discredit Indy because it's so simple, but the racing it will deliver in these slow cars, it's going to be great.
All right, well, once again, thank you, Foontang, for joining in halfway through tonight on short notice. We really appreciate it. And
no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I hope we'll get to do this again at some point in the future. And hopefully I'll get to
know
battle
I am,
you on
mate.
track as well.
Yeah, hopefully, mate.
All right, well, you go ahead and get your controller fixed, and I'm going to go eat some fresh baked bread. Have a good night,
Enjoy
everybody.
your break, mate. Take it easy.
Yeah, this has been an SFM official broadcast. Signing off for Foontang, SFM Darkseer. Goodbye.